Hello, this is Linda, and I'm so happy to have you with me. We're going to be working on this snippet roll again that we started. We started with a pre-made base, and we're just adding our elements that we want on here, or I'm adding my elements that I want on here, and it makes it fun, and it's so easy. A lot of people don't, they don't have the scraps. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups. They don't have the scraps of the sewing machine, and they don't want to spend a lot of time on these bases. But making a base first before you try to embellish it is really the best way in my opinion, to make a snippet roll that's pretty and got a lot of interest. So that's how I'm going. I'm working this one. Now let's start where we left off right here. Let me get my needle threaded. I thought I already had it threaded, but I guess not. Let's see. I'm going to put a little bit of heavier color now in here. We've got a little color in here, but not too much. And I think it's time to add a little. I don't want to go too crazy because I do like the overall color theme of this pre-made roll, which is kind of in the mustardy yellows and the tan and the browns and the creams. But I think we can add a little more color in here and see what will happen with that. I'm thinking about a little bit of this. Let me get my scissors here. Okay. All right, what do I want to do with this? It doesn't have to be anything elaborate. Just cut something here. And again, like I said, I like to audition pieces. By that I mean I like to put them on there where I think I might want them and see how they work in that space. There's just a little bit of underlay that might give it, sets it in there just a little better. I don't know about you, but tweezers really help me out sometimes. Extends that color just a little bit, makes it make a little bit more sense there. Let's see what else I have here. I do have a piece. Another piece of colorful snippet there. Put that there and try that. Let's see what else I might have in here. I like this. It's very gauzy. It has a leaf pattern on it, and that might make sense with that. Let's stick it this way. Let it start coming from there. Let's take that off right now. Thinking of something different there. This might work in. Let's try this. This piece right here, which is curled up right this minute, but it has some lavenders in it and some golds. And so put with those two items, I think that's pretty. Okay, let's try that. Where's my pins? Let's get this in place down here. And get this one back laid out. I like to keep that little bit of gold running every once in a while because it does kind of carry the color tone. Let me turn this just a little bit and run this one up. Okay, I think I like that. So, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to half that and throw that right in there. Just as a different element there. That's kind of interesting. All right, let's see. Anything else here we want to do? Let's see. I take a little bit of piece of that and kind of break that up just a little. There you go. That works. That feels good to me. You know, most of the time I have found that when something doesn't feel right in embellishing, it's because I haven't gone far enough. So usually that means add some more to it, Linda. And so that's what I do. And majority of the time I'm right. And occasionally I'm not, and I have to take it off. But majority of the time I'm right. This is, as you can see, the interest is coming down. This is going to be very, very tactile, very pretty. So many colors and elements running in there. So let's stitch this in here. Let's see, I'm going to put a knot in the end of this. We had a beautiful day in Northeast Texas today. It reached about 70 degrees. It was beautiful sunshine, blue skies, the most powdery baby blue skies you've ever seen. Beautiful, beautiful. Nice, no wind. The leaves are falling, and it's just gorgeous. Oh, I hate it when I do that. Let me rethread this. Start again. You get days like this, and you really value them because you know winter's coming. And even though winters in our area of the world usually aren't that bad, for us, freezing weather is, it's cold. And if we get any precipitation at all, any snow or ice, it's really treacherous because our roads and things, we're not prepared for all that. And so it can get winter can get hard to deal with. But most of the time we don't have real harsh winters. And we might have freezing temperatures this week and be back up in the 60s the next week during the winter time. So we, can't complain too much about that kind of weather. So we get a break. And where so many of our friends in the north, they come wintertime, they are snowed in. And so flowers are still blooming around here. Our summer flowers are still blooming. Our vincas are still doing really pretty, and gardens are still, some of the plants in the garden are still producing. Winter onions are going in, and different fall and winter crops. I was trying to decide today what my favorite color was. And I've always thought that blue was my favorite color. But then I realized, Linda, you don't, very seldom do you make anything blue. And, occasionally I do. But so I started thinking, well, what color do I like? And then I realized I really stay a lot in the earth tones. And so I'd say more than one color, it's a palette of colors that I like. earth tones being probably my favorite. And my sister, she loved jewel tones. Everything was so bright and clear that she created, and it was beautiful. But it just was too something about it I didn't like, and so I'm deciding that it's a palette of earth tones that are my favorite colors to work in. Do you? What are you working on right now? Are you making gifts, or are you just making things for yourself, or what are you working on right now? Drop a comment in the below the video and let me know what you're doing. I am going to be posting a video later this month about a series that I plan to do next year, starting in January, and it will run the whole year. And this series will be focused on creating gifts out of the things that we make, slow stitching, machine sewing, whatever it is, whatever crafts that I make, I am going to focus on how to use those as gifts. And we'll be doing something different each month, and depending on what it is, I may be able to do more than one project every month. But wouldn't it be nice to, when we get through the year, that we have a whole year worth of gifts finished and ready to go and usable, all during the year, but at the end of the year, when most people are gift giving heavily, there'll be a whole stash of gifts you've already made while you were enjoying your slow stitching or machine stitching or combination of both. I'll be doing crafts that are both slow stitched and machine stitched, and that way, whichever one you like, you can use both. A lot of things I use both. Like on this, my snippet base is machine stitched, but I wanted to slow stitch the top, and just for the fun of it, for one thing, and also because you don't have all the heavier stitching showing, and so it does give a different look to this piece, and it lets you focus on the snippets themselves rather than on the stitching, and I like that. But you might keep checking for those, because if you're interested in following along and learning different ways to use the projects that we create and to make gifts out of them, well, you'll enjoy that series. For instance, when I get through with this snippet, I am going to use it in probably at least 2 gifts, maybe 3, depending on what I finally settle on doing with it. But the point is, I will get gifts out of this. And so my work that I'm just enjoying will also benefit from somebody down the road. And it's also brings a lot of joy just to make gifts for people that enjoy handmade things. And so a lot of people may not, do a lot of hand stitching or slow stitching because they think, well, what's the use? I mean, what's it good for? Well, there are tons of things it's good for, and making gifts is one of them. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this snippet roll in that series starting in January. You won't need a lot of things, supplies or anything like that to start with, especially. like I said, if you're making a snippet roll along with me right now, you'll have that ready to use. And if not, then January you can make a snippet roll. There's no big deal about when it gets done. No pressure, and do it like that. Also, some of the things I will be making kits for, so you can either start from scratch with your own supplies and follow along and do it that way, or if it's something that I've created a kit for, well then, and you want to go that direction, that'll be available too. So, of course, the snippet roll bases are already in my Etsy shop, but I will be making more color tones of those during the rest of this month, and so that there's more choice. I think I have 3 on there right now, and but I don't make a whole lot of any one of them. So when you check if there's something you like, you might get it, because sometimes items can just disappear real fast. Okay, ran out of thread on that one. I'm looking forward to doing that series, because I really do think there's a need for people to understand that you're not wasting your time when you're sitting down doing stuff like this. You are, if you make it for yourself, that's fine, whatever you're going to do with it. But if not, you'd made it just for the pure joy of making it, well then later on or whenever, you can turn it into gifts and share that with someone else. I have a friend that when she gift wraps anything, part of her gift wrapping is on the top, and the bow and ribbon, however it is, she tucks a little handmade item, and she gets more comments from the little handmade items than from the gift inside the package. And so I thought that was a really good idea, is to make things that you can, small things that you can tuck into your gifts, maybe major gifts, and just put that little touch of handmade in there. And another thing about handmade is that, you think about your friends, how many of your friends sew, how many of them know how to do this type of craft, interested in it at all. But on the other hand, they love the look of it. They like the things you make. So those kind of people, when you're gifting, they're going to appreciate that little gift that's tucked into that gift wrapping. And just like I said, it's like 2 gifts in one. A lot of times we're looking for small little appreciation gifts for teachers, for caregivers, for utility people, delivery people, all the people that interact with us, that help us in our daily life in different ways. And sometimes we just like to gift them a little something, and a little handmade item is really great for that too. So I'm getting excited just talking about it, how many ways we can find to turn something that we make into a little gift. And I don't think it ought to be that hard, so we'll look into that all during this next year. And again, in January, we will be starting with this snippet roll. So if you want to start in the gift series with me in January, now is a good time to start thinking about sewing your snippet roll and getting it ready for then. So amazing how much better everything looks when you can audition it, but once you actually get it stitched down and things just really start playing together well. Look how well that just transitions. Isn't that pretty? Can you see that? Let me bring you up just a little. Find my button.